We are dancing in to the Happy Agent podcast today.
Yes.
So welcome.
Hi.
I'm really excited about this podcast because I haven't had Ryann in a while because I just haven't had my shit together to get Ryann on.
It's
Honestly,
almost like the two coincide. Courtney
almost
doesn't have
like
her
they,
shit together, and
yeah,
there's less Ryan.
and
The
there's
more
less
Ryan we
Ryann.
have, the
We
more Courtney has her shit
we're
together.
we're moving it back this way.
We're tipping the scales in Q4.
I ebb and flow with the energy game.
And I
So
love that for you.
today we're going to be talking about that because is it the last day of September?
100%.
Okay, I love that because I love me some October. So we're talking about how to what did I say, undepress the depressed as we go into Q4.
I
And
did not co-sign that title.
oh, I
That's
did. It's
garbage.
fine. It's fine. And hone in the energy for those who are ready to move in and build
Oh.
big energy for Q1. So with that, we'll hit the intro. Welcome to the Happy Agent Podcast, the place where real estate agents get real. I'm Courtney Benson, a Wall Street Journal ranked top 1% agent based in Dallas, Texas. After over a decade in this business, I realized something. This industry is full of gaslighting nonsense. The hustle culture, the polished perfection, the pressure to pretend. Yeah, we're done with that. This podcast is where we start doing things differently. We're bringing back the fun, the alignment, the real connection. With a grounded mindset, a lot of laughs, and total authenticity, we're showing up as ourselves to attract the clients, the opportunities, and the life we actually want. No, it's not always perfect, but we're here, we're building something better, and we're doing it together. You may have seen me on Inman News or catch me live on the NAR stage this September. But right now, let's get into today's episode. Good morning, Ryann Gillen,
Hi,
aka
Courtney
Courtney's
Benson.
business therapist.
Hi.
That's how the world knows you, as the business therapist.
Absolutely.
And
You've
yeah,
made business therapy famous. Thank
I
you.
have, and I love it. There's really no other way to describe it. I've been doing a lot of talks lately, kind
Yeah.
of all over the place, from Atlanta to Houston to Dallas. And I mentioned my business therapist, and they're like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, "Well, like, we unpack some personal stuff to get to the business stuff
Yeah.
because the two correlate side by side." And I
Yes.
think that's what's so brilliant about what you do is that I didn't when I found you on TikTok a year and a half ago, you just resonated with me, and I called you and I was like, "I don't know what you do, but I feel like you could help me."
Mhm.
And because I sometimes am cheap with myself, so I was like, I maybe I should go to therapy, but I feel like it's probably better spent working on business because everything is, business oriented with me. And
Sure.
then you were like, well, we can't get to the business until you unpack the personal things that are holding you back. And so that's where the business therapy came
Yeah.
into play. And it has worked beautifully. And like everything in life, you got to just keep going at it. And
Mhm.
when you think you got a handle on stuff, guess what? Sometimes you don't. So
Yeah.
but that's the journey of it. So
Amen.
today we're talking about going into Q4. And
Yeah.
when you think about the last quarter of the year, sometimes it will evoke fear in people.
Sure.
I feel like there's a couple different camps, right? Like there's
Yep.
the gunners who are like, hustle, hustle, hustle. It's the end of the year. We got to get our numbers in. We got to do all the things.
Mhm.
And then there's a group that's like, F it. I already screwed up my year. I
Yep.
don't, whatever. I'm just going to be depressed. This is where I, go work at Chick-fil-A because I get Sunday off. And then they're just like, whatever. And then there's a group who's like, everything's good, but I'm just going to watch, Hallmark movies for the rest
Mm.
of the year and drink pumpkin spice lattes. Gabe just
Yeah.
raised his hand. You don't like Hallmark movies or pumpkin spice lattes, sir.
But we like you, Gabe, and that's
But
all
we
that
like
really
you.
matters.
Gabe's more of a Yankees with a shot of whiskey on the side.
I feel that.
So I feel like there's a couple different camps of people.
Yes.
I move in and out of
Yeah.
all three.
Yeah.
Depending on, we typically are fairly busy the last quarter of the year, and I feel
Yeah.
like we're going to be busy this quarter. So
Mhm.
can you tell everybody
Yes.
what those different categories look like, what that feeling is, because maybe people don't know where they fit in.
I don't know if I know that answer to that question specifically, but most of the time, however we approach Q4 is a story based on where we are. So regardless of what camp you fall into, it's all being based on your results so far. Because most people, it's the
Yeah.
people who are like, F it, I'm already off track, are the ones who are like, don't care. It's like one of those I'll start over in January, even though it's
Yeah.
September 30th, folks. And that's again, that's coming from my results are already effed, so I'm going to give up, right? The people who are like, I'm going to hustle to the end of the year are like, I didn't hit my goals yet, but I still have time, right? So I'm going to go, right? And then the people who are like, I'm going to avoid and hide are people who tell themselves a story of nobody's doing business in Q4 anyway. It's quiet.
Mm.
I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm just going to use this time to really level set and get ready. And all of it is a story you're telling yourself because you don't think that you're the one who's actually creating the results.
Mm.
Because the stories are the same. Notice we just gave 3 different stories, 3 different camps,
And I
right?
know all three of those people.
Yeah, 100%.
Hmm.
But to me, like, my favorite thing is, if I'm the creator of my reality, if it's my energy that creates, why would I turn it down in Q4? Other than the story that the world tells you. Nobody buys a house in Q4. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah.
It's
They do. They
110%
do.
not true.
Yeah. They like to be in by the holidays. Everyone who's looking at houses right now has big ideas about their Thanksgiving table,
Yeah.
and they want in there for Thanksgiving. So yeah, they're determined at this half of the year for sure. Um, so let's talk about, so we've kind of identified maybe, we maybe
Yeah.
have triggered some people at this
Totally.
point. They're
Mhm.
like, I just was seen. Um, I I am, me personally, I think, I mean, I've got a lot of we've talked before. I've got a lot of things going on, from,
Yes. Yep.
health concerns
Mhm.
to um I'm off track from my goal, although you would be proud. I'm not stewing in it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But the
Like
fact that you just said you're off track from your goals,
Mm.
you're just doing a little.
I can't hear you. What? Sorry, your mic's down.
You cut
Sorry,
out.
what? Come again? No.
I'm in
You
a
just
dead
cut out.
zone.
You just cut out. But I mean, the reality is, I have
Sure.
it because I write it down in my journal every day,
Sure.
so I
Totally.
know what that number is. But I'm not sick to my stomach about it like I
Totally.
have been in the past, and I'm trying to acknowledge that. Um, well, I don't know. I'm going to say I'll hit that number, but what I've done this year that I had not really planned is all kinds of things, speaking and coaching and
Yeah.
doing, inspirational things that are feeding me in a different way, like that I really love. So I've made room for that. And but I think this, as I go into this quarter, I would like to turn it up a
Yeah.
bit. I need to refocus. I acknowledge that I need to
Totally.
refocus on some things. And then that's kind of where I'm going to give my energy. I've decided that, like, I speak on the NAR stage in November in Houston,
Yeah.
which I'm super excited about. And then after that, I think I'm done. Like, I've
Yep.
given myself permission to be done for the year. I'm not going to do any more speaking. I'm just going to focus on, we got some houses to sell, we got some clients to see through, we got some family time to enjoy. We're going to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando coming up. We do that every year, and it's
I know. I
super
love that.
fun with the fam. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm like
Yep.
a low level, I don't even want to say hustle, but kind of that vibe, just a refocus of it.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at.
So there's a couple things I want to address here, and this is going to be helpful for all of you. And one of them is the fact that I know for Courtney in particular, her number or her goal is a number. It's a number, right? I want to sell X, right? That is the number. And while that is fine and well and good, the reason why you're at peace with where you're at, even though you're not at the number, is because you're having fun.
Mhm.
Most of the time, for most of us, the number is arbitrary. It's bullshit. It would be nice. Wouldn't it be so fun to collect all of those dollars and paint them and look at them and do whatever you want to do with them? But the truth of the matter is, none of us really want money. We want to have businesses that we love, and we want to do work that we enjoy, and we want to be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it, period, end of. So I would argue that you are not off track for your goal. You are off track for an arbitrary number that you stuck on a board on January 1. But
Yeah.
you are 110% on track for doing work you love, learning to say no to deals who aren't aligned, starting a podcast, building a community, speaking on stages, owning all of your quirkiness, telling all of your fucking garbage to the internet. Like, you have crushed it this year in so many ways. But when we use one metric, one number as our this is how good I'm doing this year, we lose all of that. And I'm leaning in hard because I just had this talk with my coach last week. She's like, you are looking at one metric and one metric only and letting that metric tell the whole gosh darn story. But none of, like, when you look at all the other things, when you look at all the other things that you have accomplished, your life is fuller, you're having more fun, you don't take deals you don't want, you're not growing a real estate team that's misaligned, you're not, we're still getting better
Yeah.
at saying no when we want to say no to speaking engagements and things like that. But generally speaking, like, you're doing all the things you set out to do. You are winning. And as soon as you remind yourself that you are winning, even though that arbitrary number that you plucked out of the fucking sky, pardon my
I really
French.
did.
I know.
Because I just think every year you should double your business or
Totally.
I just, but it's funny as you're saying all of that. Because my money is my love language. It has been
Mhm,
like that since I was little because
mhm.
to me the money equals freedom.
Right. But
And
that's not
I
true
like my
because
freedom.
you've had shit tons of money in your life and not felt free.
That's true. That is 100% true.
Mm.
But I will say even if I don't hit that number, um, financially, I've way better this year than I have been.
Yeah.
So the sales didn't equal the dollar amount that I had before because I had opened up a whole new room since I
Yeah.
joined Real in November,
Yeah.
Real Broker.
Yes.
And all of the ways that you can earn revenue, I was like, whatever, whatever. I didn't care. And now I
Right.
mean, it's like significant.
Yes.
And so that's super cool. I'm at 110 people have joined me at Real since I joined in November. So
Amazing.
and I'm doing talks with them and we're doing trainings and like it's just opened up a whole different thing. So if I'm looking at it just financially, it's
Right.
better than what I had
Right.
hoped for to try to hit that sales number. So,
Right.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I don't always get it every day, Ryan.
But this is where, like, the conversation I've been having so much about, like, masculine versus feminine energy in
Mhm,
business is the numbers are very masculine, right? That's masculine energy. It's hunter, hunter, protector, provider.
mhm.
Male lions go out into the world and their only job is to hunt, right? If they don't bring something home for their family to eat, they failed and they're probably all gonna die. Right? Like, that's what we tend to do because business tends to be, especially the real estate industry, where the entire population is female, but all of the leaders and coaches are male, which is so fucking
It is, that's so
weird.
funny. That is true. That
It
is
is so
true.
true
Yeah,
because
yeah,
business was built by and for men.
yeah.
Period, end of. And this is, again, I'm not gonna, like, but that's not bad because men are excellent at hyper focus. They are excellent at going out and hunting and killing. So I'm not saying that we wanna remove that from us, but what winds up happening, Courtney, is when you become singularly focused on a number, you miss the magic that is the feminine energy. I call it the dreamer in my
Mhm,
feminine energy archetypes, but you miss the magic of what you just said. So your volume, your actual number sold is not where you want it to be, but you've made more money.
mhm.
You've impacted more lives. You've
Yeah,
made more money while doing less.
yeah.
And our effed up brains still have the balls to tell us that we're not good
It's
enough.
not good enough. Well, we talked yesterday because we were
Yeah,
gonna film this yesterday, and then by the time I was, done talking to you, I needed a nap and a cigarette. So I was like
you're welcome.
and I don't even smoke, so that's great. Um, so I was like, "Oh, just needed my brain scratched." And, I told you I do live in a
Yeah,
masculine energy. I think that's just,
we all do.
I think yeah, and how I was raised. If you wanna be successful,
Yeah,
balls
yeah,
to the walls, like, you gotta
yeah,
be tough. There's
yeah.
no time for weakness or tears. And, so I have lived in that for a long time. We also talked about I said I used to I was so creative,
I know.
and the less money I had, the more creative I was.
Right,
And so once I have kind of as I've grown and have moved out of that, I'm missing
right,
that piece, which
right.
I so enjoy, but I feel so
Yes,
disconnected to it because I do live in that kind of hardcore
right.
energy more. And the toughness, it's a toughness that
And again,
I live
it's
in.
not bad. It's why you're good
Well,
at
it
what
makes
you
me
do.
not creative. I'm not
Right.
creative when I'm in that. in that realm.
Yeah, because masculine energy isn't creative energy. It's hunt and kill energy. It's hyper focus and hyper vigilance.
Yeah.
The problem is, again, for most women is because we can do it, we do it, but we're not supposed to be there all of the time because our biological instincts are the feminine energy, which is the creativity, softness, nurturing, hunting, like we gather, right? That's what, lions go out and hunt and female lions raise the cubs and they gather, right? And like, or if you go back to like caveman days, right? The men went out and hunted and the women went into the meadow and picked the things and brought them together. And she was in community and connection and all those things, which you have brought so much community and connection into your business this year, which is why you continue to
Yeah.
thrive because that is a big feminine energy part, like you connecting with others, which is, I won't tell the whole story of how you got here, but that's how you got here is you were all in your masculine energy and you had no connection to others. That's why you were so lost when you and I first met. You've introduced that human connection, that gatherer connector part of you, which is why you're still winning. But the reason why it still feels heavy for you, Courtney, and for all of you listening is because, again, we're still out of balance. So I never tell my clients, like, stop using your masculine energy. It's what you use to create. Every time we go to work, we are in masculine energy. It's not bad to be in our
That's how I
masculine energy.
negotiate. That's my
Exactly.
negotiating energy. Yeah.
Right.
Which I
It
used a whole
is.
lot of yesterday.
Right. But I would
The
argue, and we'll
ulcers.
have a different, we can have this another day, that actually it's your feminine energy that's more powerful. What brings every man to his knees? A woman.
Gabe said, amen.
Yep. Absolutely. If you show up in your feminine energy when you're masculine, because remember, I can talk about this for days. When we show up masculine to masculine, you become competition, right? Again, we're talking about lions. There's one gazelle and two lions. I got to be bigger, better, stronger than you, right? So you become competition. Well, if you go into your feminine and the person you're negotiating with is in their masculine, you then go into a support and enhance role. Now they feel the need to protect you,
Mm.
right? Again, going back to to animal instinct. The male lion's job is to protect. What are they called? Those cats over there. The kittens. Or
Lioness. I
herds?
don't
Are
know.
they
What are
herds?
they called?
Do they have herds? Are they like, I don't know. It's like herding cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, but like that's the thing. And so again, if you position yourself, it can be seen as manipulation if you really wanted it to. But if you were in somebody in very masculine energy, you either need to, and you're strong enough to compete and win. Most people aren't. I'm actually teaching a class on negotiating here in Kansas City,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
energetics of negotiation.
Yeah.
Just that, right? Like if you're not Courtney, and most women aren't Courtney or myself, like you and I, we're both a lot of masculine energy, but it's very finessed, right?
Mhm.
Like it's very finessed.
Well,
It's
and
not
I know when to use it because I
yeah,
know if I'm
yeah,
negotiating with somebody on
yep,
the other side, and usually I will switch it if it is a man, and I do know how to manipulate that emotion and that energy
yep,
to get what I want. And
yes,
sometimes I have to come in a little softer.
yep,
Sometimes I have to be a
yep.
little bit more of a hammer, but it's all collaborative. But
It is.
it is a skill for sure. It's a skill.
It's a
Um,
skill, but I think most women are afraid of negotiation because it's
yeah.
not as natural for them to be in their masculine energy all the
Yeah.
time. So they
Well,
feel
and
unsafe in
people wanna be
negotiation.
liked. That's the our whole industry just wants to be liked usually.
Women just want to be liked. It is our animal instinct to
Yeah.
be liked because if you like me, you'll protect me.
Mm.
Because if something bigger than a lion comes and messes with our herd over here, because I can't think of the words, right? Like, I need you to protect me. And if you don't like me, you won't protect me.
Yeah.
So it is actually
Understand.
inherent to the feminine animal to be liked. We
Mhm.
have to learn how to rein that in, right? It is an
Yeah.
act of human spirit to rein it in and not need somebody else to like you for you to feel safe. It is absolutely positively, it's a skill that can be learned, but it is not our instinct.
Yeah.
And so most of us want to be liked. And we think, because again, I have to be protected. If you don't like me, you won't protect me.
Yeah.
If you
It's
like me, you
interesting.
won't eat
Yeah.
me.
I
If you like me, you won't try to kill me.
I
Animal
never took it that far to think about it that way.
yeah.
So
And that's
I
what
l
it is
you
as
and I
women.
just go off on tangents
I know, I'm
of
like, "What are we
like
talking about? We're 18 minutes in. Did we talk about keyboard?"
randomness. Whatever. This is I mean, I still have my original sign that I
No,
printed out and
I
hung up
love
with
it
a
so much.
sticker because that's how I roll. I think people are just used to it now. We just whatever, we just show up and whatever comes out comes out. So I think it's such an interesting conversation and I've been
Totally.
doing a lot of negotiations lately.
Yes.
So I like to look at it from that that perspective. I love negotiations, and
Yeah.
I'm all about the energy and the
Mhm.
mentalness of it. Like, I love the
Yeah.
strategy. I wanted to go to Chris Voss is in town. He wrote
Oh,
Never
fun.
Split the Difference,
Yep, I read that book.
and I was gonna get a ticket to his thing, but it was like $3,000 just for the afternoon, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll just catch his podcast." Like, I don't know, but I thought it would be really cool. Maybe next year. I wasn't, fully
Yeah,
fully in tune to going to it, but I thought it would be kind of fun because I
totally.
do love a negotiation. So, all right, so let's keep talking about our Q4. So we kind of identified
Right.
the different groups of people and if somebody's going into Q4 and they're scared,
Yeah.
I was having some conversations with a girl this
Yeah.
morning on text message who's going to be doing some open houses for me, and she's like,
Yeah.
I have zero business. I
Yeah.
have zero business. So for the people who want to ramp it up in Q4, get some business, need to change the energy of coming from a place of desperation, because when you're
Mhm.
desperate, you get more of it. I've learned that.
Amen.
Um, what is the energy play
Mhm.
here as we
Yep.
go into Q4? Like, I need to one, refocus, get some business generated now, and set up my business for Q1.
Yeah.
What are the steps that we need to go through to get our mind right and get our
Mhm.
business going?
The first step is realizing that it's an energetic play before it's an action play. Right? Most people are like, I need to make something happen and we need to go out and make it happen. But you've been trying to make it happen all year and it's not happening. Do you know why? It's because your energy reeks of desperation and not good enough and panic. So if you are taking action and you're taking action from fear, you might as well stay home. So let's talk to our action takers and let's talk to our non-action
Well, how
takers.
do you get rid of the fear? Are you
It,
gonna talk about that? How do you get rid of
how
the
do you get rid of the fear? It's all in the conversation you're having in your head, right? The only thing that you can control is your energy. And your energy is your thoughts and your feelings. You can control your energy because you control the conversation in your head. So the fear is because you continue to look at what is, right? Here is my situation. I have an empty pipeline. My bank account, I just moved my last money over from savings. I'm watching the savings number dwindle. My net last closing was 6 weeks ago. And the law of attraction tells us the more of that we focus on, the more of that we get, right? When
Mm.
you are an energetic match to what is, meaning I'm constantly seeing what is, reacting to what is, thinking about what is, freaking out about what is, talking to everybody that will listen about what is, you can only get more of that, right? You can only get more of that. Energetically, if you obsess over where you are and where you are not, that is what you get. So, how do
Mhm.
we shift that? We have to tell a different story. But here's what's really, really important. If you are, I'm going to just use a scale of 1 to 10. I normally use radio frequencies, but then I get stuck in my head. So, anyway, scale of 1 to 10, right? 10 being I hit all of my goals, 1 being I'm going to wind up homeless living under a bridge, right? Like that's where we are, scale of 1 to 10. Say you're somewhere at a 3, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to lose my house, but I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to make my car payment in December, right? Like that's where you are. You're at a 3. Most people try to go from a 3 to a 10 as quickly as possible, right? I'm here at a
Mhm.
3 and I want to be a 10. So they try to go out onto the internet. They listen to a Mel Robbins podcast or something along those lines. And they're like, I can do anything except for sell real estate. I'm so
They're
powerful.
just gonna let
Except right
them.
there. Yeah.
Everyone is
We're
let
just
them.
we're just
Just let
gonna
them.
let them while I sit here at home and cry, right? Like
Mhm.
we try to get from a 3 to a 10 and it creates resistance, right? What we're trying to do is remove resistance. So we have to go from a 3 to a 3.5 to a 4 to a 4.5. And then maybe we can get from a 4.5 to a 6. And then we can get from a 6 to an 8.5, right? But we're trying to change our energy and our results too quickly so that we create resistance.
Mhm.
So we have to go from my pipeline is empty to I'm open to the fact that there's people considering working with me right now. Like it's totally possible that those people that I talked to back in June that said they were going to buy in October will buy in October. So, I mean it's possible that that is true, right? Like do you see the difference
But
between
is
those two things?
But the key is, so you're thinking it and you audibly say it or you write it down, but
Yeah.
then you have to believe it, because if you
Not
don't
at
believe it,
first.
right? Or
I
not
mean,
at first.
yes. Yeah, no, at first you're not going to believe it because all you can believe is what you're tuned into. Right? Like when let's use a radio example here. If you're listening to 95.7, you can't hear the music on 103.3. It doesn't matter that the music is there. You simply can't hear it,
Right.
right? So to say that I believe that I'm gonna have the best Q4 of my life, I don't believe that. That's not fucking true. But I am open to the idea that I could sell one house. I've sold one
Mhm.
house before, right? Like all we're trying to do is let go of the resistance. I actually just coached a client through this the other day. This woman actually has like active deals, but they're not as big as she would like, right? So
Yeah.
like you have active opportunities and all you're focused on is the fact that the dollar value isn't there, right? We do this in some capacity. So we're like, not gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have active deals on the table, but I don't know what I'm gonna do about that car payment in December, right? This is what we do. But instead of being like, I have active deals, I have people who trust me. So I can find the belief that like if I can get 3 active deals, I can get 4.
Mhm.
If I can get 4 deals, I can get 5, right? Like it's opening up to the possibility. It's letting go of the resistance,
Yeah.
right? Because there are no solutions at a 3. There's only problems at a 3. So that like inspired idea, that thought, that social media post, that person to follow up with, it's not available while you were at a 3. So you have to do everything humanly possible to feel better. To feel better, to tell a different story. And if you can't tell a different story about real estate, tell a different story about anything else, right? The universe doesn't speak English, it speaks energy.
Yeah.
So if you can find relief from the current dire situation of fear in thinking about, you know, how much you love your kids or, how you do have that one deal, that I have one client who's got like a new construction deal, that money is going to fall out of the sky in 9 months. Like, how fun is that? Right. Like, just the idea of possibility. And so, like I said, if you can't get there in real estate, think about something else. Think about your kids, think about your dog, think about your spouse, think about the upcoming vacation that you have. Think about that one time. Like, again, it's not about what you're actually thinking, it's about how you're feeling.
Yeah.
'Cause the universe doesn't
And
speak English. It doesn't
we
go ahead.
talked about that yesterday. I was like, so I'm like, I need to get from here to here. And I'm like, so you're just telling me I need to be happy. And I
Yeah,
will say because I do come in and out of sometimes I'm really good. I'll say my mantra and I have high
yeah,
energy and
yeah,
high vibration. And I know when I'm like that, I see opportunities.
yeah,
And that's part of my mantra. I see opportunities come to me every day and I have the ability to see it when I feel light and I feel open, these things come to me and I'm
yeah,
like, dude, that's so crazy. Like all these good, but when you're sad or when you're frustrated or
yep,
when you're desperate, all your brain thinks about is the survival of getting through that moment, getting
yeah,
through that day. So your head is like this, and you're
yeah,
not looking like this about all the things that are there.
right.
So if you can shift that and get out of yourself, whether it's
Yes,
going to take a walk, go get your
yes,
coffee, go turn up the music really loud, whatever it is, and you go from being like this to just lifting your head up,
mhm,
smile, even if you got to fake it for a little, just take a deep breath,
yes,
smile, you be amazed at the stuff that just all of a
yes,
sudden it feels like it falls out of the sky. It was there the whole time. You just had
yep,
your head down.
right,
Like, it's I made a conscious effort the other day. I was at the airport and I was flying to Atlanta and I was just like I was flying without Gabe and Gabe is like my person. So when Gabe is with me, I get to shut my brain off and not be
right,
the one in charge.
yeah,
And so I was like, shit. Gabe, like Gabe is not here. So as I'm wheeling my bag through, I was like, I'm going to put my head up. I'm going to
yeah,
take a deep breath and I'm going to look for somebody to interact with and it's going to be so good. And I did. I went to the little 7-Eleven and I had a
yes,
good laugh with the guy. I had like
yes,
and just in those interactions with other humans that I didn't know,
yes,
I walked back to my seat and I was like this, like I was just laughing.
yes,
And when you have that energy,
yes,
you get more of it. You
yeah,
really do. And I said, look at me, I'm saying it. And then, then I'll shift and I'm like, oh, it doesn't work. And then I'm like, damn it, it does. It does. I
it always
spent,
does.
it always does. So we just need to, whatever it is that makes you happy,
Yes,
puts a smile on your face.
yes,
I think for me, like when things feel bad or I feel like I'm failing,
yeah,
I don't allow myself to be happy. Well,
right,
I'm failing. Of course, I can't go out to breakfast with you. I can't. Why? I don't get to be happy because I've decided I'm not doing well at something. So I don't get to have moments of like a punishment,
yeah,
like a self
totally,
punishment.
yeah,
I do that to myself, and so
yeah,
I'm trying to stop. Like, if I feel like I'm not meeting a metric, I still get to be happy. And in fact, when I go and I am happy, it makes everything else better. And so I don't know if people need to have permission to do that. Like if you're watching this and you need permission to be happy,
Yeah.
you have permission to be happy, even if you're not hitting your numbers,
Yeah.
even if today feels heavy and sucky, you have permission to
Yeah.
still be happy. So go find it. Like
You
that.
have to be happy, like, that's the
Mhm.
thing, like, it sounds so cliche, and it's annoying as shit, especially to people like Courtney and I who are all on our masculine energy, who are like, "F you and your happiness."
Yeah.
It is quite literally how it works, like, I was listening to, I don't know what I was listening to the other day, but they talked about, like, there's no evidence that refutes universal law, and when I say universal law, I think of things like law of attraction, law of vibration, law of gender, like, nobody out there is gonna tell you that it's not true. Right? Nobody out like, there's nobody out there saying because there would be uproar if people were talking about this and it wasn't true, right? Like, you wouldn't be allowed to just continue to tell people this. I think of that all the time where I was like, "I don't know if that's true." And I'm like, "You know, if it weren't true, why does it work for so many people?" That's one of my favorite things. If it wasn't true, why would it work for so many people? But that's so when we think of this, sorry, I won't go down my tangent today on my rabbit hole, but I will stay here in this idea of it's always energy first. The
Mhm.
only reason you want whatever result it is, however many houses you want to sell, however much money you want in the bank, however many followers you only want it because of the way that you think it is going to make you feel. You think it's going to make you happy. You think it's going to make you finally feel like you're good enough. You think it's finally going to make you feel successful. And and so we're like, but I can't be happy and successful until I reach the thing. But it's the exact opposite, right? The energy game tells us we have to feel it first. You have
Yeah.
to feel successful before you ever sell a house. You have to feel abundant before you ever have overflow of money. You have to feel rich before you ever make a dime.
Right. And in real estate, people, when you go to a listing appointment or you're at an open house, people, and it always sounds so woo woo, but people feel your energy. Like
Of course they do.
you can tell, like if you're in an open house, you're like you can feel the energy of people getting ready to walk in.
Yeah,
So if your energy screams lacking,
yeah,
struggling, desperate. Nobody wants to work with you. I mean, people are trusting us with
yeah,
hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, their family, their future equity, all of these things. The last person you want helping you is someone who can't get their own shit together. Like they don't. People don't want to work with you. And
uh-uh,
so having that shift of, you know what, I'm here. And I love the saying that everything always works out. The fact that we're
yeah,
still alive
right,
means that it worked out. Whatever the problem was, it worked out.
yeah,
So, can't we just live in the, you know what, it's gonna work out. It'll
yeah,
work out, and it does, and just changing
always,
that
always,
behavior to doing
yeah,
that. So if somebody will bring it back around for the people who are in that,
yeah,
Q4, I haven't sold anything, I don't have any clients. It is the shift of energy to find
yeah,
happiness right now. So
yeah,
instead of the focus being, I need to find a client, you
yeah,
need to focus internally on yourself, find
yeah,
happiness, bring joy into your energy, and
right,
you will be amazed. And then say yes to the opportunity. So you
yeah,
bring joy to it. And then, yes, I'll go do that open house. Yes, I'll go have a coffee with you because you asked me. Somebody popped into my head that's a client or just anybody, and I'll text them, hey, how are you doing? I always laugh because people, they think I'm nuts that I'm like, oh, my CRM is my intuition. No shit. I
yeah,
will sit on the couch like, oh, somebody popped in my head. I'll text them. And
yes,
I'm always like, they'll say, oh my God, I was just talking about you last night. Oh, my friend
uh-huh,
wants to buy a house or whatever. There's a reason these things come to us. So
yeah,
trusting that, but you have to be in an energy of positivity
mhm,
and joy
yeah.
to keep bringing those things to you. Um, what else we got?
So there was there was 2 angles I wanted to go. It was about money. We were talking about your goals and your Q4, right? And we were talking about money. And so we kind of covered that, right? If money is our only focus, we're dead in the water, right? Not
But
because
okay, so I have a question though, because
yeah,
this one always,
yeah,
if money is always my focus,
yeah.
why don't I have more of it? Like if what you focus on comes to you.
Because the question you don't say, "Oh my god, I'm so grateful for all the money I have." You say, "Oh my god, why don't I have more money? If I just get to this dollar amount, then I'll feel better." You don't open your bank account and say, "I love you and I love you and I love you." You say, "You useless piece of shit. Why haven't you made me more money?
I
Why
know,
is
and
there
then
not
you
more
laugh
of you?"
because then anytime I actually hit that number, I'm still like,
Right.
clearly my goal was too low.
Yes, because it's not about the number. That's the thing. Nothing in life has any meaning except for the meaning you give it. You have just given the number power. That is why, Courtney, and let's talk about this. Let's stay here because we could probably end on this. We're going to talk about money. And the reason why we know that it's never money is because I want all of you listening and you, Courtney, to tell me, was there ever a dollar amount that you have made that you've been like, I made it. Thank God.
No.
Right. So if it were actually about the money and all the money you have and haven't made, haven't accessed your entire life. Because when I started my sales career, or when I started my career selling, I was a radio sales assistant at Clear Channel Orlando when I was 21 years old, making $10.10 an hour, right? $10.10 an hour.
Ooh.
Right. And then I became a 100% commission sales rep with a draw of $1,500 a month. Right. And then I moved from radio to TV where it wasn't a draw anymore. It was a salary. So I didn't have to pay it back. So I got to keep my $1,500 every month. Right. And then I got another job paying a base of $5,000 a month. And it was never enough money. And some people are always like, well, it's just because you upped your expenses. No, because your obsession with money, you're waiting for money to give you something it cannot give you because it is an inanimate fucking made up object. It's not even real. We printed pieces of paper and put an old white man's face on it. And we're like, this is worth $1 and this is worth $5. And we're the dumbasses that were like, cool, thanks. It's made up. Most of the money that exists in the world isn't real. It's in a fucking Amex line of credit, or the government has spent it and they pray that you won't ask for it before it comes back.
True.
So I have a dog who is very insistent right now between my legs. I have no idea what she needs. Hi, honey. It's usually not her. Usually it's Finn who's like, hey, mom. I got one of those TikTok ADD chairs that has the one where I can go sit crisscross applesauce. So like my 50-pound Aussie that's supposed to be mini will sit up here. It's not built for that. I'm like, Finn, you are too big. Get off. Anyway,
she was reading your energy. She's like, what's going on, Mom?
I know. She's like, Mom's excited.
What are you excitable?
I know, because I love the chair because I can sit like crisscross applesauce, but I don't. But anyway, money is made up. And that is why we think about it all the time and don't have more, because we're constantly thinking about what we don't have and the not enoughness, right? Like we can be booking one vacation and being mad that we're not flying first class while we do it. Like that's how effed up we are. We're like booking the coolest vacation that 25-year-old us would have been like, holy bananas, I can't believe we're just doing that on a whim this weekend. But we're like, but I really don't want to spend that much on first class tickets. I just need to make more money. I just need to go sell another house. That is the problem. Instead of being like so damn jazzed that you are going on vacation to do something that you love, that you get paid to sell houses, and you have control over your calendar, and you only have to work with the people that you want to work with, and you get to control the hours when you work and how you work, and you never have to let somebody disrespect you, even though most of you do. You never have to do that. Be grateful for that. That energy is so magnetic. Yeah. Right?
But what if you don't feel it? Like, what if you don't feel it in the moment? And, because sometimes my brain will do this to me. I'm like, oh, I should feel these things. I should feel grateful or whatever. And you just struggle with your brain connecting with it.
So I think there's two things, right? Sometimes we actually do have to address the resistance, right? The whole what you resist persists. So don't think that, don't stop it. Yeah. Stop it. You're just making it bigger. So sometimes you just need to let it in, and you need to say, what is wrong with you? What's going on here? Why can't we shake this? Is this a real fear? Is this a real emotion that I need to process and handle? Or is this just, my brain running wild? Like legit have that conversation with yourself. That's kind of step one. Where is this coming from? 95% of time, it's from made up stories. Every now and again, there is some shit we need to address, right? Like I was offended in this situation, or I didn't hold this boundary and I'm really disappointed, or, so sometimes we do have to address our emotions. I told you this yesterday. Our emotions are guidance, right? Like we think of our emotions as a problem. They are an inconvenience. Can you just shove those away and not feel those today? Your emotions are telling you when you are or aren't out of alignment. Right? When you feel good, you're aligned, right? You're aligned. And this is where it does get a little woo, right? But you're aligned with God, source, the universe, whatever you believe in, right? Like you can feel it when you're connected. Yeah. Like you said, you can feel the goodness. When you're not, you're disconnected. You're disconnected from source. You're disconnected from the magic. You're disconnected from the energy. So negative emotion is the first thing it's telling you is you're disconnected. And then again, am I disconnected because I'm just feeding an old thought loop that I need to stop fucking feeding? Or is there something here that needs to be addressed? Yeah. Again, 95% of the time, it's the thought loop. But for a lot of us who've been avoiding our emotions for a very long time, sometimes there is something in there that needs to be addressed. And I don't mean needs to be addressed as in go sit on the couch of a therapist and cry about it for the next year. It's like, I told my coach this the other day, I'm like, "Sometimes I just wanna throw a tantrum," and she's like, "And God, I wish you would. Like, get it out. Get
Yeah.
it out." Like, I'm
Yeah.
pissed,
Yeah.
like, "Her," and she get it, do what you gotta do. Like, go hit
Yeah.
a heavy bag, journal it out, and light it on fire, but, like, whatever that thing is inside of you, it's not gonna go away. When somebody once said, like, "What you won't be with won't let you be," right? So if you have
What you
what you
won't be
won't be
with.
with, so what you won't
What
sit
was
with, that
mhm.
avoidance, that
Right.
anger, that
Right.
insecurity, won't leave you be until you address it. And sometimes addressing it is just owning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have absolutely positively been pretending to be somebody I'm not. I've absolutely positively been allowing people to disrespect me just to get paid, and it's killing my fucking soul. Like, sometimes we just need to own it, and
Yeah.
owning it will work, right? But if it is the persistent thought loop, the habit thought loop, right, which it will be 95% of the time, it's how can I feel a little bit better? Right? What would make me feel a little bit better? Right? A little bit better than I feel right now. If I really feel just frustrated and overwhelmed, maybe humor, right? Like, what's funny? Do I need to go watch a funny TV show? Do I need to go, find a comedian on TikTok and watch videos until I laugh? Like, it is okay to distract yourself, because sitting in it and stewing in it is just making the magnet bigger, right?
Yeah.
Your thoughts, your feelings are a magnet. So the more you're like, "Oh my God, I feel like this and I don't want to feel like this is terrible and I know that I shouldn't be feeling like this." You're just whatever. And it's like, "Okay, I feel a lot of anxiety right now and I feel a lot of frustration right now, and so I'm going to go read a book or do something funny or call somebody who always makes you feel good. Like,
Yeah.
do something to feel different." Like, what do we tell our kids when they come in the house and they're like, "So and so won't play with me." Go find somebody else to play with. Why the fuck you want to play with somebody who doesn't want to play
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Why do you want to sit here and have this same old tired conversation?
For me, I have to have perspective. Like,
Yeah,
if I get down on myself or, "Oh, this isn't working," or I don't wanna I get and I have to stop and think, like, even when I moved into this house that I'm in now, I was in such a different place
yeah,
in my relationships, in my business, all of the
yeah,
things, and I had no idea how good it was gonna get or how good it could get because
right.
I couldn't even see it. And
No,
now I'm like, "What the fuck is my problem?" Like, if I had any glimpse then
yeah,
what I get to do now, I would just be like, "What? That is crazy." And I get to do these things and I love these things so much. Like, I sometimes I just have to remember that. Like,
yeah,
instead of seeing like, okay, well, I want to do this, but I don't have the energy to do it, or I'm
yeah,
tired, or I'm maxed out, or my calendar is too much. And now I have to say no, or
yeah,
I have to rearrange things and I get frustrated. Instead of doing that, like, how cool is this? And I get
yeah,
to control it and I get to make it what I want it to be. And I get to
yeah,
connect with people and that just, I love it. And, so for me, it's perspective, like
yeah,
remembering when you asked for the things that you have
right,
and, I just think, "Oh, you know what? Old Courtney would be like, 'That is so wild.
right.
I could never believe that this
Yes,
negative girl would have a whole community called the happy agent.'"
yeah,
How fucking ironic is that? And it still makes me giggle because 'cause I'm like, the most pessimistic, negative girl ever
sure.
has a whole community about not being that,
Right,
and
but
the
here's
working through it. Like, that's pretty cool.
it's pretty
That's cool.
fucking cool. But would you
Mhm.
like me to explain why that happens?
Yes.
Because the pessimism and the anger and the frustration and the insecurity is not that was all programming,
Mhm.
right? Like, and again, little woo for you for a second. Like, we're meant to feel good. Like, we are quite literally source energy in physical bodies, whatever that is to you. Like, we are energetic beings in physical bodies. We're supposed to feel good. There is no reason to feel like
Well, I
shit.
think our society has taught us we're not allowed to feel good. We're not allowed to be proud because somebody else doesn't have it. We're
Right.
not allowed to feel good
Yes.
because you don't feel good,
Right.
and that we should be shameful
Of
of being
course.
proud, successful, and feeling
Yes.
good, and so
Yes.
it's we get inundated with
Right.
that. So, sometimes when you do feel good or something great happens, you're like, I don't wanna tell anybody because I don't want anyone to feel bad about their situation because I
Right.
d and I think, like and I've heard other people say that too or
Yeah.
feel that. So
Right.
what does that look like to celebrate that?
Yeah. It's realizing that, again, the only reason why that person doesn't like your happiness is because you trigger something inside of them.
Mhm.
The only person's point of attraction you are responsible for is yours. That is it. Period. End of. You can't get poor enough to end poverty, right? Like you just simply can't. You can't get fat enough to end obesity, right? Like you can't starve yourself like you can't do it.
Right.
You can't do it. Your point of attraction is yours. Period. End of. I know mom gets fired up and Remy's like, let's go, mama. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
Yeah.
So this whole idea of, well, it's going to make other people feel bad. That sounds like other people's problems. She's
Yeah.
literally never done this before. This is
I
bananas,
love
sweetie.
that.
Hi, sweet girl. Hi, honey
Oh,
Grace. This is Derek's dog
hi.
too. She is not my dog. What's
Oh,
happening? Why do you need some
oh.
loves?
She's like, "Hi, mama." That's so
Um,
cute.
she is so cute. She's just like, you're getting excited. But like, that's what it is. It's we're
Mhm.
afraid that we're going to make somebody else feel bad
Yeah.
instead of, what if I inspire somebody today? Like, yeah, I'm probably going to
Mhm.
make that poor broke person who hasn't actually done anything in their real estate business and hasn't sold a house all year mad when I celebrate how many fucking houses I've sold this year.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's because they know that they're not doing the work. That's because they know that they're capable and they have the potential and they're
Yeah.
not doing it. But you can't get small enough to make somebody else big. So instead, I want you to share your wins so that those people that are like, hell yeah, I sold 30 houses this year. Courtney
Yeah.
sells 50. Let's go. If
Yeah.
she can do it, I can do it. You
Yeah.
know, like that's what I tell people all the time. When we see like competition isn't real, first of all. But second of all, like I see other people as an example of what's possible,
I do
not as
too.
a reason
I do
why I
too.
cannot. Like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, if that girl can do it, like that means
Yeah.
it's available. That
Yeah.
means there is a reality that exists where people are making money, that much money, or doing things
Yeah.
that way, or having this experience of life. I can't wait to
Oh my
tell
god,
Derek
that's
about this.
cracking me up.
Hi, what do you need?
Yeah,
And
I've
she's
never
sitting,
seen
there's
her
like a
do that.
little bench. She's never
That's
done
awesome.
this. And even
She's
like
like,
last night, she cuddled with me instead of him, which is unusual. He's been traveling and working a lot lately, and so she's been stuck with us. And she is a
"Oh,
daddy's girl through and through. Yes, you're the daddy's
that is
dog.
so cute."
But yeah, I
Oh,
don't know what this is right now. This is a Finn move, and it's typically
that's
because he needs or wants something. So I don't
yeah,
know what she's doing.
that's cute.
But yeah, I mean that's the energetics behind that.
Yeah.
It's, you can't you have to keep your blinders on because all
Yeah.
you're doing is limiting your own opportunity and your own
Mhm.
exposure and your own joy for other people that have to be responsible for their own joy.
Yeah.
And then the final piece of that I would tell you is that the more you work on your energy and the more good you find and the more magnetic you become, and you're going to wind up in different conversations. I tell you this all the time because you have this fear of disappointing people. And I'm like, that's because you believe it's possible. To me, it's like, no, I can't disappoint people because it's either I get to disappoint them or I have to disappoint me. And
Yeah.
I'm never willing to disappoint myself, not because I don't care about this other person, but if I prioritize them over me, what am I saying about me?
Mm.
That my needs aren't important? I don't want to put that
Yeah.
energy out in the world.
Yeah.
I never want that. So we can say no with empathy and with grace, right? Like I'm not telling like F off, never talking to you again. It's just like this
Yeah.
is not aligned for me.
Yeah.
And I use those very specific words. This is not aligned at this time. I'm so grateful for the opportunity, right? But
Mhm.
it's just not aligned. It's just not for
Yeah.
me. And that's just it. Like we have to be willing to say no to what's not aligned and we have to be willing to say yes. But eventually, the enough we say no to those opportunities, our energy won't even attract them anymore.
Yeah. Well, and saying no to those things because as realtors and if you're a producing realtor, people come at you from all angles because they want your name, they want your
Sure.
influence, they want your numbers, and it can be very overwhelming. But learning to again protect our energy, say no to things. I said no to somebody the other day. It was a title company, asked me to
Yeah.
go to coffee, and I was like, I really appreciate that, but um, I'm
Yeah.
not going to be able to do that because I don't want to honestly.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to. It's just is not going to work for me right now. And she's like, I appreciate your honesty because usually people are like, sure, tomorrow or next week, and then they don't show up, and then we're playing that game. So finding the ability to just be honest and where we're at, and even if you're looking for business or
Yeah.
you want to connect with people, put that out there too. I mean, that's sometimes it's as easy as saying, "Hey, I want this opportunity and I'm
Yeah.
open to it. Who can provide me with an opportunity?" Somebody did that on our Facebook page the other day about open houses. I was like, "All day long, here you go."
Right.
Like, just asking and being in the moment for what we want.
Yeah.
So any final words for everybody as we hit Q4? We talked about
Yeah.
finding our happiness energy, putting our head up,
Mm.
not looking inward, but looking outward, because when we're happy and we exude that, we attract the opportunities that we want, that we're looking in
Mm.
for, but they're actually out there. So what
Yeah.
else? Any final words on that?
The final thing I will leave you with is Q4 isn't really any different than Q1 or Q2 or Q3 other than the story that you tell yourself.
Oh, that was profound. Damn it.
They're all
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
You're a real estate agent every day. You sell
Mm.
houses every day. You help people every day. You do good work in the world every day. And it doesn't matter if it's October 1st or April 1st or January 3rd. You are a business owner, you're a realtor, you have a service that's valuable and important to this world, and people are buying and selling houses every single day. Don't let the industry garbage make you think that it's over at the end of friggin', October because nobody's gonna buy a house. It's bullshit.
I love that, and I think that's, as you were saying that, I was like, "That is so true," like, because it's such an awarded industry
Right,
that December 31st is the end of our value
right.
until it starts all over again, and
I know.
maybe and I'm saying this to you, I'm saying it to me too, that that's not the shift. It's also why I hate New Year's. I'm like, I still have the same shit on January 2nd that I did January 1st or
Right.
December 31st, and I think maybe we need to think about our business like that as well. It is a continuously ongoing thing, and our value doesn't end at the end of the year. It
No.
just keeps going. And so that's the way we need to look at it, that it's maybe Q4 is not the finality of the year to hustle, relax, do whatever. It's just a continuation of our life and our journey and what we're learning. And that,
Yes.
look at that. Look at that.
49
Full,
minutes and
full
45 seconds in.
circle.
We got there.
Full
We got there. You guys
circle.
are welcome.
That was so good.
I
Thanks
love
for
you,
being
friend.
here. I'm so glad that so we have like a plan. We came up with a plan. So we've got like 5 more podcasts
We
or
do.
so. I mean, let's be honest, there's no plan. But we loosely threw out an
Yeah.
idea that we're going to keep this going
Yes.
as we go through the end of the year. I mean, I
Yeah.
did last year. Remember, I came out with my book last year,
Yes.
which I'm going to be relaunching it.
Ooh.
Um, and I did 35 days of manifesting our market
I love
into the
that.
new
I love
year.
that.
I had so much business in Q1 because I had completely just changed my behavior and my attitude. And what's so stupid is I know that works. And guess
Of
who
course.
stopped doing it? Because I have been a self sabotager all my life. So we're going to revisit this conversation soon. We're going to
Yes.
keep our energy high as we
Yes.
continue to move through our journey because we're not even going to say through the end of the year. It's just
Right.
a continuous
Right.
journey. Thank you,
100%.
Ryan. Is it
Yes.
Ryann Gillen? You can find her on TikTok, Instagram.
Yes.
Tell everybody what you have coming up if they want to participate with that.
Yeah, I'm actually doing something really fun in October. I'm doing a series of what I'm calling Business Therapy Live, which are live Q&A sessions because of this conversation right here, right? It's all about information. You're like, I'd like to manifest more clients or I'd like to know more about this energy stuff. And we're like, cool, go listen to another podcast. Like you're up to your eyeballs in
Mhm.
information. So it was intuitively guided. Like, why don't we just get on Zoom and have conversations? Because that's what my group coaching programs look like, right? Like we just get on and we chat about it. So we're going to do these Business Therapy Live. I committed through October once a week. So it's just a Zoom registration. It's super easy. I'm going to give everybody a Google form because I've learned my real estate agent friends do not like to raise their hand and ask questions. My entrepreneurs will all day long. They'll be
Yeah.
like, so I am $422,000 in debt and I haven't had a client in 6 months. Can you help me? A realtor's like, I am not willing to admit that I haven't sold a house in 6 months. I'm not like, they won't do it
Right.
because if they tell the
Yeah.
world where they're at, anyway, it's very
Yeah.
funny. So I have a Google form for you if you'd like to anonymously submit your
Okay.
question so I can answer it for you live. I'd love to do that. So this is just kind of an experiment, a way to serve. I put out a lot of content, so do you, that's educational, and I enjoy it. But at some point in time, we got to stop learning and we got to start implementing. And there's a reason
100%.
why you're not implementing on the things that you know. You just might not know what that is. And so this is an opportunity to ask the questions.
So how do we get that form from you?
I'll send it over. It's just a Zoom
Okay.
registration link. I'm gonna have a new one each week because Zoom won't allow me to do a Zoom one, which is annoying, and I don't want to play with the tech. So,
Yeah.
I'll give you the dates and all the Zoom registration links later today, and you can pop those into the Facebook group and anywhere else you want to share
Okay,
them. So people
perfect.
can
All
pick
right.
which
And
one they
yet,
want to
if you
register
guys
for.
want to find us in the Facebook group,
Yes.
we're on Facebook at the Happy Agent Collective. We're also going to be moving off that platform a little bit over to a school platform
Okay.
so we can give more content and make it easier sometime at some point. It exists.
It exists. It's in
It
Courtney's
exists.
imagination. That's where it always.
No, it actually
I know.
exists. I just haven't opened it.
Yeah, I know because it's in your imagination. You have to
Oh,
infuse it
yeah.
into the
I
school
have to
community
someday. It'll get
someday.
there. It'll get there in time. Thanks,
Amen.
Ryan. I
Yeah.
appreciate you,
I know.
and, always you give the best information, and, I'll talk to you later. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.